I'm gonna start this video on a very down note. Usually, when you guys see me, I'm all upbeat. I'm all, I mess around. I just want to share this with you guys. So, a trader actually on social media just took their life, um, about a few days ago. Okay, and I was mutuals with him. I never really talked to him personally, but it's still sad to see because he was one of the trader influencers that provide a real value on Twitter. I don't even think he had a paid service or anything. And I just want to read you guys his last tweet before he took his life. Trading has been the hardest and most soul crushing challenge of my life, with the only real goal being freedom for me and my family. Raising a whole child, building a family this past year while trading forced me to see why every click matters. The weight is heavy, but so is the reward. Never been so genuinely motivated. So, rest in peace to Tyler. He was 21 years old, at 4500 PX on Twitter. And, I woke up and I read that. I called Ash Trades. I called him. I was golfing. I was on the 18th hole. I'm like, hey, man, like, is this true? Like, what happened? Because, we followed each other. And just not really news you want to hear. Okay. Now, I was golfing today and I hit a shot out of bounds on a par three. For those of you golfers, it's a bad feeling. And I start raging. Okay. And you're looking at Dodgy right now. I am not the same Dodgy who was raging. Okay. And this is where the creature comes into play. Okay. And you need to be conscious of this in trading if you want to even have a chance at being profitable, because 90% of people aren't. Let's be real. And you know today I hit a bad shot and I start slamming my golf club to the ground. Slant, like, not on the tee box, just I went somewhere off the golf course in the grass, just bad grass, start slamming on the ground. I was pissed. But it wasn't me, it was my creature. It was the same creature that controlled this finger right here, to cause me to press the button in a revenge trade years ago when I started blowing counts and trading. And I had not felt that for a long time because I don't revenge trade anymore. And it was the same creature that came back to me in golf. Okay. And I'm like, wow, I have not felt that in a long time. It wasn't me. It was a creature. It was my mind. It was a creature in my mind wanting me to fail, wanting me to have a mental breakdown, and I could not control it. And it made me realize there is a creature living amongst all of us humans. Okay? It's so real and it wants to ruin your life. It does. When I started trading when I was 16, okay, I kind of got hooked because of what was happening with AMC and GME and all those stocks. And when I started trading, I didn't have a consciousness of the creature. I didn't have a conscious of emotion. I would enter a trade and I wouldn't understand that my emotions were controlling me. Like, I didn't understand that. If I was up a lot, I'd be happy. If I was down, I'd be like, yeah, F this. I'd be mad. But I didn't understand that I was being controlled by a creature. Like, I didn't understand how big of a role like emotions actually played. And I remember one time I lost like $400. It was my whole portfolio at the time because I didn't have a lot of money. And I'm crashing out. And it wasn't me, it was my creature. I revenge traded all of it. I was crashing out. I didn't know what to do. I thought I lost everything. And when I hit that golf shot and the creature came into my head the other day, it reminded me of, it actually gave me PTSD of that same creature controlling this very fingertip when I used to revenge trade. And it makes me really like think about how difficult it is for some of you guys because you all have that same creature within yourself, whether you believe it or not. And I know you're probably wondering, like, how do you tame that creature? Okay. 99% of you watching this video right now, yes, you have gone into a trade, you've lost money, and you try to get it back, and you just click the button. And you know it's not you doing it. It's something in your brain controlling you to do it. Like, it's not you. And you're probably like, damn, like, is he watching me? Is he I'm not stalking you guys. It literally happened to me. That's how I know. And it's like, it's the weirdest feeling. It's like you're being controlled, and like, it's an indescribable feeling. And, the Tyler, who, I'm not going to say, what he did, obviously, again, in this video, but Tyler, in his tweet, he said, every single time you click the button, it has a lot of weight. And I'm actually downgrading it by saying a lot. It holds your whole life. Okay? Every single time you click the button, that affects your whole life. You want to know why? Let's say you start trading $50,000 in a trading account. Oh, I'm only going to trade with $5,000, but I'm putting $50,000 in my trading account to have margin. Oh, leave a mini overnight. Oh, World War III's announced. I'm all of a sudden down $50,000, got margin called, have no money left. Every single time you click a button on an account, that could happen. You could lose your whole bank savings. That kid, no dinner tomorrow. No food the next week. You just lost because you left the limit order open. And, understanding the weight that you press and you hold on pressing that button is extremely important. And you need to be conscious of this. Like, if you're not conscious of this, you're not going to make it in trading. You could be a great trader, but if you're not conscious of this creature inside your mind trying to make you fail, you will never be profitable long term. And it's something I didn't understand years until down the road, because I wasn't ever conscious about this creature until I started watching and, going through these psychological battles with myself. Like, when I read Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas, great book, that opened up my eyes a lot. I'm like, damn, like, it's not me trading the strategy. This is like serious. It's like a serious psychological game. It's not really the strategy. And that was the day I'm like, I really started becoming conscious about when I take a trade, I'm emotional. Like, that was the day I was like, yeah, I am emotional when I take a trade. When I get pretty pissed when I lose and I want to revenge trade. Like, that was the day I was like, I do that. And that was a day where I really definitely turned my trading around, because, you need to learn how to tame the creature. Now, how do you do that? Well, one, time. Okay, just time the markets. You're not going to get it after a year. You're not going to get it after 3 years. I would say by year 4, I think that's a good checkpoint to where if you become conscious about it, I think by year 4 you can completely tame it. And that's kind of, I'm at year 6, and I probably would say I tamed it on year 4-ish, if I would say. So one, time, but 2, being conscious of it. You need to understand you're trading based off emotions. You need to understand that you are looking at a trade like thinking you know the outcome, and if it doesn't win, then you backtested something wrong. There was a trade setup to the market. I'm like, you know what, guys? This is a B setup. It's not a great setup. But you know what profitable traders do? Some people will take this, and they don't care if it wins or loses. They're just going to manage their risk and move on to the next day. And that's why some of you guys aren't profitable, because you're trying to find every damn reason why some trade's going to win or lose. And if it doesn't go your way, or if it loses and you thought it was going to win, or if it wins and you thought it was going to lose, that creature is coming out of you, and it's going to ruin your life, and it's going to ruin your trading career. Okay, so, what you need to do is you need to find that creature inside yourself, because everyone's going to have different creatures, and find when it gets set off. Some of your creatures might get set off at 1 losing trade. Some of your creatures might get set off at 2 losing trades. Some of your creatures might get set off when you know the drawn liquidity, but we don't get an entry model, and then you're like, F it, I'm just going to enter. You need to find these pain points that your creature has, and you need to put them on a sticky note on your computer, and you need to go in the day and be like, okay, here's what my creature will try to do. I'm going to deny it from doing that today. And if I can do that, then it's a green day. No matter what the outcome is on my trades, whether red or green, it is a green day if I can deny my creature from doing this bullshit that it's always done in the past. And, you know, it's very important to do that, okay? When you play Mario Kart, the goal is to get to the finish line. But you don't start the race like saying, oh, yeah, I'm just going to go to the finish line. You have to strategize and be like, how am I going to get to the finish line? How am I going to, throw a shell at, Luigi to pass in front of him? How am I going to stay in first? How am I going to pass these obstacles? It's the same thing with trading. The money is the finish line, but you don't just say, "Oh, I'm going to make money. I want to make money. That's the end reward." You have to follow your rules first. You have to strategize. Like that's how you make money, and making the money comes naturally. It should not be your goal, right? Just like finishing a race in Mario Kart, it's not really the goal. The goal is to pass people and make sure you're strategizing to get ahead of everyone, and then you finish first naturally. Okay, but you can't just say, "Oh, I'm gonna finish first," and then that's what you try to do. You just finish first with no plan, no anything. And as cheesy an example as that is, it's real. It's so real, and it's very tough to hear a trader that probably impacted some of you. I'm sure some of you guys have seen him on Twitter too. Now he's not with us anymore, and it really shows how real every single decision you make is. Like every single time you click a button, it is a business decision. And some people, it takes years of blowing their accounts in order to get to that point. And I always tell people the quote, like, if you're in the gym and you're not doing well, there's the guy who says, maybe you're not fat enough. Maybe you're not fat enough to want to go to the gym every day. Maybe you're lazy and you don't go to the gym every day, but it's because you're not fat enough. You're not at the rock bottom yet. Like it's like you haven't lost enough money yet, or you're not at that rock bottom to where all of a sudden you're like, you just spring up. You're like, wake up. You're like, okay, I'm way too fat now. Now I'm going to go to the gym, right? Maybe I'm a little fat. I'm all right. I'll go to the gym tomorrow. Or it's like, oh no, I'm way too fat. I'm going to the gym. Like, boom, get in my car. Like, some of you guys aren't there yet. Okay. So, to end this video, I just want to make it very clear. If you're struggling, reach out to someone, reach out to another trader. Okay. It is not an easy game. It is so psychologically hard. I let a little kid sit in my Lamborghini today at a car show. Dad texts me on Instagram. Hey man, what do you do? I saw your ad in your Lamborghini. Do you trade stocks? The first message I said, I go, hey, thanks, bro, but I'm going to warn you, this is not easy. Psychologically, you will understand that this is not easy. And I told him, I go, the strategy is easy, but I go, what would you do if you lost $500 in 2 seconds? He's a kid. He's a wife. He is a family, bro. Like, it's not for everyone. And I strongly advise against people with families to do this because they are putting their whole families as their weight on every single button press they click, right? And that's why a lot of these guys are failing. I see the most people succeeding already have successful businesses, already making money in another way. And that's why they succeed, because they don't need trading, but they want to trade, right? There's a difference between, oh, I need trading to pay the bill, or I want to trade to because I enjoy it and I'll make extra money and maybe someday I can be a full-time trader. Like that's two different mindsets right there. So, I'm going to end this video now, but one time, just you can't give up, because one time psychologically you're just going to get better. But two, being conscious of that creature, understanding what that creature does to your body and denying it from taking over your brain and revenge trading, over leveraging, clicking that button, because it could take 30 clicks to change your life, or 30 clicks to lose everything you have. Remember that. I will see you guys in the next one.